I didn't tell you this, but I just got my doctor's test results back.
Okay.
Kind of upset. Oh, hey, hold on. But I'm kind of upset about it because apparently I'm not going to be a doctor. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Oddcast podcast.
Off the
Where
record.
we have bad jokes. I'm Blackie.
I'm Erica.
Thanks for joining us today. I know probably over on Woodwalkers, my man Kumbo is probably still chatting it up. So we'll, hopefully people will start showing up in the chat. Thank you everybody for being here. If it's your first time, welcome to the channel. If you could give us a like and a thumbs up and all that stuff and share and subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. It's free. Yeah, so who we got today? Let's see. Gene, Murray, of course, Gary. Bud's here. Heck yeah. Kenneth, Sandra. Let's see, is anybody else here? Oh, Brother Billy. Hey, Brother Billy. Erica's here. Blackie's here. If we missed you, we are sorry. We apologize.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we were going to do the show outside today because it'd be a great show to do outside. But unfortunately, here in Middle Tennessee, they're predicting some crazy weather this evening, and we didn't want to deal with the wind. It's supposed to actually right now it's probably 40-mile-an-hour gusts at times, so you wouldn't be able to hear us. We'd just be like. So we decided we should probably do it inside. Today's show is going to be mostly Milady here, because I know nothing. I am learning from her about gardening, and this is sort of a beginner's gardener. Is that what we're doing here?
It's very much beginner level.
Awesome. So hopefully everybody, I know I talked to or texted with for a second. I've already gone blank. Somebody in our chat who is, I think, in Michigan, and they were getting a blizzard. So good luck to them and everybody that's going to get bad weather this evening.
Was it Judy?
It was it's on the tip of my tongue. I could look at my phone.
Yeah, they're throughout the areas. There are a lot of weather issues going on. There are still high winds.
Oh yeah.
Which he talked about here, but winter storms and then severe weather coming through.
Gene Hudson.
Okay,
who's always here. So
yeah. So hopefully everything goes smooth with the weather and high winds. Hey Verby and hey Patrick.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Yes.
Appreciate it very much. Okay, you want to get the show started? Let's do it.
Okay, so just a quick background. Hey, Wendell. I was not raised to garden, so I'm just in my third year. But it's something that I absolutely love. And as time has gone by, it's still like a trial and error for me. And I think it is for a lot of gardeners. But it shows me, like it's evident to see what works and what doesn't sometimes. And I have watched so many YouTube videos. There are a lot of great resources on YouTube. I am an intern in the Master Gardener program currently, and I love that.
It's a pretty big deal.
And I love learning from it. I love seeing the success from it. And the point of this show about the emergency garden is also bringing light to it is absolutely something you have to prepare for, but we're looking at it as if we want to prepare, we want to grow, and that way, as much as possible, we can be self-sustaining, or we can, over time, prepare to have what we need, and we don't have to rely on the grocery shelves, which inevitably will probably be empty. We'll see those days again, unfortunately.
And we're just operating off of just over a half acre of land. So we're not talking about, having a cornfield or anything like that. We're talking about having, doing what you can with what you got.
Right. And, that's another thing for me. I've mentioned it before. I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor. So it's been an uphill battle for me in learning several things over the last 26 years. But I don't stop. And actually, I've taken it the other way around. It's something I love to learn now. I love to learn whatever the topic is. There are bad teachers and instructors out there. And so I'm really going to try to break it down for everybody on a basic level and show examples. So
I will say this, that she is totally into this. Like, she is like excited every day when she has a class or a garden club meeting or whatever. If you could see our house, we literally have a garden in our house because we'll talk about it, I'm sure, but she starts the plants indoors, and then once they're ready, she takes them outdoors and plants them. And we have a cat that seems to really enjoy the greenery we have in here.
Yeah, anybody, you need to be careful with your animals and kids, whoever.
Right.
There can be some toxic plants out there. And Larry asked if I forage for wild edibles. Not really. I have had exposure. I know there are people out there who are fluent in foraging. And I know Misty, if she was in here, she's probably still on her other show. She's very knowledgeable about that. I do forage in my yard. I know a few things that we have, and that is something that I enjoy learning. But it's still something I'm very
as a matter of fact,
very minimal on the knowledge of.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Sorry, we had some dandelion tea fresh from the yard this morning. Not the tea itself. It's not like we have. Anyway, she made dandelion tea with dandelions out of our yard today. So, one of the things I always was taught growing up was, keep your yard looking, manicured, no weeds. And then to find out as I got older that the dandelions aren't even weeds. They're something you can be self-sufficient with, and they have healing properties. And then I find out from her that there's so many other things in our yard that are, can help with itching or can cause itching, can help with itching, can, help with rashes and stuff like that, or just all kinds of medical stuff in the yard. Yeah. So
just be careful on all that, do your research on those things, and be, use whatever precautions you need for whatever practice it is that you're doing.
Dandelion flowers fried with flour and butter are great. Pine nut, that's one way I haven't had it yet, and I'm willing to try that. Thank you.
Oh gosh. Well, hey everybody who's made it, and we got Verby here, and then there was another Sharon. I know Patrick, Bobby, Verby. Okay.
Sandra.
So to start simply, as encouraging as possible, I would say start in your grocery store. I was raised on processed foods. And so taking the time to learn what vegetables you like. Note that you can't grow everything. Okay, so I know we have some international viewers, but here where we are, we're not going to grow bananas here,
Shucks.
But just if you're not used to what you like, to me, that's how I started. What do I like? What do I enjoy the taste of? And then start from there on what I want to grow. And were you going to say something?
Well, we talked about, most of our shows have been more prepper homesteading, but one of the reasons she wanted to do this or talk about this is that way, with grocery prices possibly going to go through the roof again, and, shelves and empty in the store, as you could tell by our thumbnail for our show. Why not learn to grow some of your own vegetables and even flowers? Flowers are amazing too. She occasionally brings a flower to me out of the yard, and I'm just like, well, that's so sweet. And she's like, eat it.
Stop.
Okay, so like marigolds, I'll eat a marigold.
Yes.
I mean, I guess they're good for you. So
Yeah.
either that or she's trying to kill. I don't know. But
Stop.
it's not bad, as if I can get help from nature rather than drugs, because I refuse to use pharmaceuticals anymore. It would have to be something that really, I still don't know, if
Yeah.
I would use pharmaceuticals. So her learning all of this stuff, and slowly I'm trying to venture into it as well. We always said that she does all of this stuff and I'm the hunter gatherer, and she's taking care of the plants and the food that way. So I'm willing to learn all of this stuff because this is really interesting. So I hope you guys are too, if you haven't done it already.
Sharon was talking about the ice cream served with garden mint. The bugs were walking across the ice cream. I had at the garden club a few years ago, we had, I believe it was a strawberry basil ice cream that they made, and it was so good. And it's funny because a lot of times, and there will be a lot of things that I talk about in this episode, but more recently, it's like the things we encounter or the things that Chad and I are interested in, it's like we're going back reverse in time. And it's a shame to think about that.
Now, if we can just get rid of this damn electricity.
Stop. But anyhow, okay. So knowing what you want to grow and you don't want to waste your time or your resources really on growing things that you're not going to grow for yourself,
right.
Or for your neighbors or for someone. There's just no point in that really. So know what you want. And again, so like going to the grocery store, one example would be tomatoes, and you're going to be more likely in certain areas where they label the actual variety of tomatoes, or they might be in canned version that you buy those. But if you open up a seed catalog, it is amazing to see how many varieties of just tomatoes there are. And it's like anything else, people are picky about they like or don't like,
right.
A certain anything will apply. Okay.
Fun fact, tomatoes used to be considered deadly poisonous in the 1700s. And the reason they found out they weren't poisonous, it's because they were using pewter plates to eat their food off of. So that's why they thought tomatoes were poisonous. Trust me, they're not. They're tasty little tidbits.
So what you need to know is your growing zone. And once you find that out, can I get on, let's see, on USDA, I know for sure, just Google for the growing zone. You can Google your growing zone for whatever state, at least state level. And then there are multiple growing zones within each state. So if you Google search your growing zone, that is imperative to know when it comes to when to plant because of your frost date. The frost date changes between every growing zone. And that is an absolute foundation in when to plant your seeds and for which season you're growing. So you have the first frost date and the last frost date of the growing seasons, and that will help. Your last frost, so like our last frost is mid-April, and on the seed packets, it will tell you when to plant around that last frost date. And a lot of seed packets, so here's just catgrass. Okay, on the back, typically what you'll find at the big box stores, it has the map of the United States, and then you can't read it on here, but it will tell you
It didn't work.
The months to grow. It has the color coding on when to plant these seeds.
I did too, X.
Okay, so that's a good start. But this is still pretty vague. You know, it's not specific on dates. So once you find out your growing zone and your last frost or the first frost dates, then you'll kind of do a little math on when to plant. And the information on here, let's see. Just for reference, your local extension office, at the minimum, that would be the resource. They will have your frost date and your zone. So you can contact them or you can do whatever research you want to do on the internet.
F frost X frost, not prostate.
Stop.
Prostate.
Frost date. Okay. Freezing temperature related. Okay. So also on the packets, it will tell you when, how long it should take for the seeds to germinate and how to plant, how deep to plant. But the general rule of thumb is the size of the seed and whatever the bigger dimension is, 2 times that width of the seed or whatever that dimension is, 2 times that amount is how deep the seed needs to go into your soil. Also, it will tell you on the packets what to expect. So it will tell you how to space the seeds, how far away, and a lot of gardening is knowing what you're preparing for. Okay, we're looking at what this seed will grow into and what is the final product. You know, it can be hard to imagine, you know, I'm spacing this so far apart. Well, it's going to grow and its maturity. That's why you need this spacing. And that's why it's important to follow this information. It also gives you information on the length of time for harvest. Gives you other information too on, let's see. It may give you some information actually on harvesting, but a lot of times with Seed Savers Exchange, that's who I first started using. And they give you a story on the back. They let you know where it came from. And this is more of like a historical, this company, they give you the explanation of the story behind it, where the seed came from, and you know, the efforts that people have gone through to keep the seed moving.
These seeds are actually from George Washington's garden. It says so on the package.
You're so goofy. But it also may give you watering and soil requirements. Every company is different. This is out of Texas. It's David Seeds. And they give a lot of information. They say how many seeds are in here. This is a flower. It gives a 60-day bloom date. I don't know if you can see these seeds, but they are so tiny, tiny. Okay. All seeds are different depending on what you're growing. I'll come back to that on a growing part in a minute, but they can be so different in size. But David Seeds, everything I've bought from there, their customer service is good and everything. But they don't give you the map. Okay. Like on the other ones I've shown you, they don't give you the map. So sometimes you have to do research on what you're not used to and look up if it should be grown in full sun or a shaded area, what pH level, what soil amendments they recommend. So they can all be so different. I wanted to show you. I'll come back to that one. Okay. Let's see here. So you've seen how to space. And everything I've bought has come from different stores or come from that company directly, like the David Seeds. So they're all different. And I know everybody is, you can be limited to, just a certain area or the stores in your area.
Yeah, where the environment you live in.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But the peas, so I showed you the seed and this is a pea. So the shapes and sizes.
My pea doesn't look like this.
I'm glad your pea doesn't look like that. Sunflower seed. Really, I'm sure everybody's used to these, but I'm just showing you how different everything can be. And let's see. Also, the packaging, I've shown this on another episode too, but these sunflower seeds, this packaging, I think this one came from Amazon, is actually like a Ziploc type of packaging. So taking care of your seeds, you want to keep those out of direct sunlight to preserve them. And, they'll remain dormant until the water touches them and the sunlight. But taking best care of them to increase, or have the maximum germination rate that you can have would be storing them in a dark area.
We did a episode just a little while ago about seed storage, and how we kind of suggested that people need to start saving seeds for basically the same thing we're talking about now. If there is a food shortage, if there is a ships can't get to the U.S. to deliver goods, then we have to worry about that. So remember that when you buy your seeds, maybe you buy extra to store them for future.
Yeah, so they won't, depending on where you're looking, I'll put it that way. It may be in some seed catalogs, or it's definitely, usually on their website, but it will tell you the germination rate. And some companies don't do that at all, but it will give you it's like the success rate of the germination of the seeds. What percentage of this packet of seeds are most likely to germinate? That's important. And it's important to know because it's usually not 100%. Okay. So that way, in monitoring your work, that it has nothing to do with you. It may have absolutely nothing to do with you. It may just be a dead seed. So, but let's see. Another, I don't know how familiar people are with it, but it's very easy to find, like on Facebook, but the seed swap. So if there's something that you can't find in your area, or you may just want a few to try, seed swapping is a really good way to find seeds that may be hard for you to find, or you don't want to invest in a whole packet of them. I've had success with seed swapping groups is what you would look for, seed swapping in Connecticut or whatever, just search that. And definitely, I think we're on the lesser time of the year for that now, but there are still some out there. I have seen them via nurseries and libraries and Facebook groups, gardening clubs. They're out there, and I find it extremely helpful.
All I can think of it is like the gardener's version of trading baseball cards. It's like, hey, I'll give you these sunflowers for your tulips there, or whatever you want to get. That's kind of how I look at that. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But cool. One of the things that you want to be smart when you're trading seeds. Hopefully, the people that you're trading with are picking the same seeds for your area, not like you're trying to trade, peas for bananas, because Again, we can't grow bananas in Tennessee. It would be useless.
But real quick, on the seed swap, so it's typically, like I have brought a packet of seeds, and I'll take it to the group. They'll usually have them laid out on a table. But a lot of times people will just bring in a Ziploc bag, no information other than the name of the seed. And that's totally fine. It's the ultimate goal is to share the seeds, and that's all you need. Then at that time, again, we would use our resources to find out online how the best way is to grow that. But one version I have gotten, someone went through all the trouble, and they actually, I know you can't really see that, but it's so much detail on the type of flower and how big it will get, and just awesome. But they put growing zones, its native area. This is not typical. This is awesome, but it's not expected. Okay. All right. And Bud gave information about drying out the seeds, and that's great. I'm not able to read the chat on this one because I'm chatting so much. I didn't talking so much. You're fine. But heirloom are going to be the ones, most likely to grow. If you try to save hybrid seeds, those most likely aren't going to grow. Most likely are not. And I mean, very little germination rate.
We also saw a show the other day. A gentleman took the seeds from his McDonald's tomatoes and grew some beautiful looking tomato plants.
Yes.
So, and they were very hardy looking tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know if they come with the same chemicals that are in the McDonald's burgers, but we'll pretend they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another way to have seeds, at least, to grow tomatoes or other items like that.
Yeah, I was really surprised at the success rate that grew.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of that, I'm going to show you a picture, and this is really what got me hooked on it. Okay. I put a tomato in here this is almost 3 years ago. And I just put it in a vase, and I'm like, we'll see. I just felt, very experimental about it. And then I watered it, and then we took a trip, and then this is what I came home to. And I was absolutely in love.
When she says she was absolutely in love, this is like buying a new kitten. That's what, I mean, or a new puppy, either or. Mm-hmm. It's like whenever she sees these little things sprouting out of the ground or the dirt, she's like, oh, come here. I got to show you something. And I'll be in there like, what? See that little piece of green thing right there? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, that's a radish. Cool.
It just amazes me. It truly amazes me to watch it grow and to see the progress. And, unfortunately, when things don't work out and you lose plants, I still see the positive. You learn from it. And anyhow, and not growing up that way, it's still so new to me, and I'm hooked. I love it.
We have a dead vegetable cemetery out in the backyard because she gets so sad when they die.
No, I don't. It's not that bad. Okay. Let's see. I know, but weeding is a daily job. I've already, I didn't include the pictures of it, but what I have already planted outdoors. I'm also very picky. I am babying my seeds right now because what I've grown in the past, I feel like I've lost so many seeds out in my garden. And I have a small in-ground garden and several raised beds. And so to me, it feels like a waste of seeds, what I've experienced in the past. It's like they get lost. I don't want those efforts to go completely to waste. So I'm really trying to grow everything in containers right now, to get them established and then set them out. Like, I'm not going to do corn that way. Or my beans. I'm not going to do that way. Like, my peas are out there. I wasn't worried about getting those started indoors, but everything else, I'm going to treat it like I would be buying from a greenhouse or something. I'm going to try my best to take care of it from seed indoors and then set it out. Okay, let's see. So if y'all get a chance, I would encourage the seed swapping groups, just if you're curious even. Let's see. The others, I have pictures of what I've done so far, but on the seed packets, I just wanted to show this example, okay? This is a mammoth sunflower. I bought this at Dollar Tree. Again, a lot of this is trial and error for me. I'm early, but I wanted to give it a try. And I think their 3 packets are $1.25 for like 3 packets. $1.25, I think, is how it goes, or $1.50, whatever. They're good. These are good. These have grown successfully. So I'm always about, if somebody's on a budget or trying to get the most for your money, that has shown me I would definitely buy these again.
Have you named them?
No.
Okay. By the way, fun fact about sunflowers. Sunflowers actually clean the soil. They take out the impurities like lead and arsenic. So it's pretty, helpful when you have a garden, that it takes out these bad chemicals in your soil. Mm-hmm. Soil, not dirt.
Yes. So I'll show y'all some pictures right now of what I have going on. I'm trying this. It's kind of like a to-go, lunch, to-go restaurant container. And I'll label it on a popsicle stick. I'll put my name of the whatever that plant is. And then on the back, I'll put the date that I started, that I planted the seed. These are just on the surface. They're not covered up, obviously. So I just wanted to see how they'll do. But that okra and the radishes are doing good. And pretty soon I'm going to be getting some of these into the ground. Where does packet say seeds are from? Do you mean where the seeds were started, like their native area? Just to show you, this is one of my little beet seeds. It's just so neat to watch them grow, like from germination. I love to see all the different stages and the colors and the shapes and everything. I love it all.
You know how to get farmers to dance?
Oh gosh.
Drop some beats. It's true.
That's cute. A new one I have not done before this year, I'm learning from, is the milk cartons. Okay, so this tray, I love this tray. I bought it at Walmart, and I think it might be Fairy Morse brand, but maybe about $5. So it will hold those 3-gallon, it might hold 4 more half gallons or whatever. I have some yogurt or like yogurt containers that I'll grow in also. These are overcrowded. Those were just getting my seeds started. So I've got to get those transplanted And anyhow, that is a very neat way to grow. I'm still very protective, so I don't leave them outdoors 24/7. Yes. Is it Shawnee?
Shawnee grows.
I totally 100% agree. I love to see every stage of
She
it.
shows me some of these seeds, and I don't have the greatest vision in the world, so she'll show it to me, and I'm like, "Oh, what do you got? A handful of bugs?" And she's like, "No, these are seeds." And then next thing you know, she brings them out as they're growing, and I was like, "How did those come from? Those tiny seeds?"
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Jean, Jean says they went or so. Are you? I can't. Where Jean's in Michigan?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. So we'll take the milk carton and cut it open, and then you'll put your soil in there. So whatever soil seed starting mix you want to mix in there, and get it wet and put your seeds in. Then you'll tape that milk jug shut. You leave the cap off of the milk jug, and I have heard that it's fine, in the winter months, and that's how a lot of people will. And I'm in a warmer climate than Eugene. I
just a bit.
I have some seeds that haven't germinated yet that way, so it worries me that my older plants might, it might hurt them. But that may not be the case.
By the way, welcome to the channel, Shawnee. Thank you for being
welcome. Here. And so anyhow, I've got these open. Normally they would be covered in tape, to keep that closed and keep the seeds safe from the wind and from animals and pests outdoors. But keep the cap off so that you can water them, or that rain, they can get the water from the rain, or snow, or whatever the case may be. But it's a great environment with the humidity that would create from the carton. So that is a great way to grow, and that is new to me. Let's see. Stop. Okay. And then this is another tray I have, and I've done the egg cartons. I don't love it, but it's definitely been a good start. I do it mostly to kind of keep it organized and to kind of maximize my space, but I'm not 100% in love with it. But you want to make sure that you create drainage holes in the bottom of these egg cartons if you're going to do it that way. And, it's good to water the seeds. It's good to water the growing seeds from the top. But once they're established and like the leaves you see here, then you would prefer the bottom watering, just to keep those leaves and the plant safe. Bottom watering would be preferred at that point.
You can use a bidet.
A bidet. Okay.
That waters your bottom.
You are so goofy. Okay. All right. So, but let me come back. Air and water and sun or light are really what we need on this growing part. So this also is not ideal because of my different levels. I'm really just trying to work with what I've got here. And again, I'm experimenting. But for the egg cartons, my lights are too high. They're too tall. They're too far away, really. But I've got them high enough so that the like yogurt containers, that they're taller than that. So ideally it would be more uniform, and say I would have like the trays, the whole tray of egg cartons, or stick all of these yogurts on one side and, keep all the other lamps lower. So you want to be like 2 to 3 inches above whatever it is that you're growing. Then outdoors, let's see. Let me go back to indoors. I don't use a heat lamp. Like I don't use a growing mat. I never have, but if you're trying to and you don't have a growing mat, if you need that to help your seeds germinate, the top of the refrigerator is a good area, if you're not going to buy a heat mat. But with the dirt, I'll start with like a planting soil and a seed starting mix and then coconut coir. I use those and mix them up.
What did you use the chicken poop in?
I didn't use chicken poop.
Oh. Oh, I did. Never mind.
Stop. Yes. Jean said red Solo cups work really good too. Just use a utility knife to shave a few spots around the bottom for water drainage. I saw a guy do this, and he'll take that Solo cup and then he'll, cut that out and plant what he wants in there for his seeds. And then he'll add another container at the bottom, and that's where your water will go. It's best seen where you have the red Solo cups, and then the lower cup that you use is the clear cup. That way you can see the water that's in there, and that everything looks good. Jean said electric blanket works really well for heating. Yeah. Anything, be careful. Anything that you use, make sure you use what works for you safely. I've heard about rabbit manure. It's like everything you hear about, somebody has something bad to say. And I can't always remember what it is because it's something, I don't necessarily consider using or have access to, or, you've heard it can be contaminated with something, so, but yeah, I've heard about rabbit and horse. Like you got to be careful with the horse manure with what they eat. And there's something, it's safe for their stomachs, but it'll come through and it's bad for us or bad for growing. Jean, 100%. It's like, I feel like it'll never be, and it's not a dreadful thing to me at all, but I feel like it's always going to be some kind of trial and error. And I love that.
Well, you also have to remember, me being conspiracy theory, that they're going to, in fact, you've even seen it, that some people they want you to register your gardens. And they tell you it's for, so you can get together with other gardeners. But the thing is they know you have a garden. So now they can do whatever they want. It's going to be a matter of time before you won't be able to grow your own food.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you.
So whatever it is, whatever container you're using, you're reusing some container you've used before. I totally get it. I understand cost savings and trying to make do with what you have. Whatever it is, make sure that it's clean to start with and that the drainage holes start there. What you need to do to create your drainage holes. And because nothing wants to be swimming in water. That will definitely deter your growth. But other than that, absolutely, before you go further, make sure you have a label for what you're growing. And, if nothing else, just make sure that it's labeled, even without any other details.
See, even X says it.
What's that?
Bidet, best way to keep your bottom and to water your bottom.
Oh, gosh.
Thanks for being here, Michael.
And
Cash.
Okay. These are ones I've already got outdoors. And this is just a quick, another option on a container and again, we're always looking into the future because we've got to transplant and give that seed or that now plant a bigger home, and knowing that its size, is going to continue to change. And certain plants are more picky than others on transplanting. It can be very hard, it can be traumatic for plants to transplant. So you may see an immediate change in its shape and size. It may wilt. So you need to make sure you pay particular attention once you transplant any plants and see what needs to be adjusted so that it starts to pop up and get stronger again. But one option is a fabric planter. So I've got some seeds outdoors right now that are already in a fabric planter, and I've got spinach in there. I know that's going to need to be transplanted, but I'm just starting it out there. I wanted to say, if you're limited on maybe space or again cost, or weight, like if you're not allowed, if you have restrictions on weightlifting, things like that, fabric planter may be good for you. If you're using a fabric planter, it drains a lot, so it can help on not overwatering your plants. It's fabric, so it will continue to drain, but it also may be more maintenance on keeping your plant watered, depending on where that is located and sun and all of that. So that's just something to keep in mind. But for the moment, I have some spinach and I have a little paper towel of some lavender seeds, and I've got them on there because they are so tiny and I'm hoping they grow. But so far they've done good and stayed on the paper towel. And it looks like some have germinated. They're just so tiny. It's hard to tell. I need to get them out and take a closer look. But I also wanted to show you this because I've got it covered in a netting. And all of my attempts in the past, I'll put seeds out in my garden and then I just see the birds coming. I'm like, oh gosh, do I have anything left? So consider any type of netting like that will still allow water and the sun to come through, but that will protect, your seeds or your plants at a younger age.
Carmen, what you just said there is exactly how Erica used to be.
What?
Plants come to our house to kick the bucket. When she wasn't growing a garden where we used to live, we couldn't grow gardens. The HOA would probably arrest us. But she would try to grow flowers, and they'd always, kick the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's another.
But she's not like that now.
Another benefit of fabric planters, I did that. I knew we were going to be moving. I knew, at the time we were still shopping for a home, but I knew we would be moving. And you can use a regular, whatever material of your planter. But where we were at, for one, I would move them around. I had a few fabric planters for my first set of tomatoes that I ever grew. And I would kind of relocate them depending on what we had on our patio at the time. But I knew that we would be moving. And eventually that did happen. And I took my tomato plants with me. And it's just less weight to have to drag around, when you're talking about a planter. And okay.
I'll give you a fun fact while we're waiting. 1 teaspoon of garden soil contains more microorganisms than there are people on this planet. Pretty wild.
That's
In a
wild.
teaspoon.
That's wild. But there is a stage when it comes from your indoor seeds to bringing them outdoors. You're hardening off that plant, and it needs a little babying to go between your indoor, very controlled climate to outdoor, where the sun and the wind really plays a big factor. And it's, again, trying to prevent this shock, trying to make sure that your plant grows the strength so that it's strong enough to stand and remain growing once it goes full-time outdoors. So the hardening off is a little bit of a part-time period, switching between indoors and outdoors, and it gaining its strength and getting used to. I think of like us as humans and going outdoors and working on our tan. You know, we can just straight up go outdoors, for 8 hours and no sunscreen or whatever it is, and getting sunburned. Okay. So that to me would be an example of hardening off the plants. It needs to build up an immunity to being outdoors full time.
Do you think state to state? So let's say you grew something, you said you grew tomatoes in Ohio. Do you think there's a change when it comes to Tennessee?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, everything's different. And then, but like my fabric planter then, and it was the end of the season, but it had its soil that it was used to. And so it remained in that fabric planter. So that would have been okay. But our soil is very different from Ohio. So if I had been planted it in the ground as soon as it got here, that might not have, I might have needed a different fertilizer to add to it, because it's a completely different makeup of the soil between the areas.
Less meth in the soil. Anyway, congratulations, William.
Oh,
that's awesome, brother.
Congratulations.
Yep. That's awesome.
Okay. So again, reading, on the packets, the seed packets, and if you're just direct sowing into your garden, into the ground or into your raised bed, it tells you on how to space. We don't need to forget if we've gone from indoor to outdoor, we're not just direct sowing and we start indoors and we're going outdoors. We need to look again and make sure we have the spacing right, because a lot of issues come from, if we have diseases on our plants, a lot of the issue is air circulation, and the plants were planted too close together. So if you give it the proper space between rows, you can increase that airflow. You want to make sure how to manicure that plant in particular. Keeping the leaves off of the ground would be one of the best methods of keeping them disease-free. And, there was a picture I was going to put, but anyway, watering, how you water your plants too.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a big deal, but you told me every time I was watering our plants, I just walk up with a hose, and she's like, "No, put it in the soil, not on the leaves." And but it rains. I mean,
that's true. But the roots need the water.
Shawnee Gross says soil microbes are a fantastic conversation. The 4 stages of plant pyramid involve that rhizophagy. I'm trying. Rhizophagy. I like it. Sounds good. Connection. And then she has another thing here.
Rhizo.
Seeds tell a story. Seeds saved from your land remember the gardener's hand. Nice. I like that. The soil, nice. Wind, climate. Our ancestors saved seeds in their pockets while relocating during.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you very much
Shawnee,
for sharing that.
It's crazy. And I love that you're making these comments. Like, you obviously fit right in. I don't believe you've seen our show before, but
it's different.
We have a variety. We appreciate those types of feedback, stories, and history. we are all about that. So one of the things, I don't know if you caught it on this, but the Seed Savers exchange is where I've gotten some of my seeds from in the past, and they preserve that story. You know, they want you to know where the seed came from, which I think is awesome. But we believe that, you know, Chad was reading earlier about talking to your plants, you know, and
And music. Yep.
We believe in things like that. We believe that it does make an impact, and it just, I think you fit right in.
Vibrations are a big part of life. And, you know, when you're creating, your body creates vibrations. And plants create vibrations. I've read a lot recently and just kind of studying stuff for this show that, you know, the singing or talking, plants talk to each other. It's funny because when I hear about plants talking to each other, and there was a movie years ago called The Happening. It was an M. Night Shyamalan movie. So, you know, it was an interesting movie, but it was about people just like jumping off of buildings, and to find out it was the plants that were angry at mankind that put a chemical in the air, and that's what it made, you know, but obviously not realistic, but it was interesting to think about. But that's, plants survive. You know, plants are vibrational just like we are. Everything's vibrational.
Another thing, Shawnee, we were watching something the other day. I don't remember what it was, but they talked about how someone had immigrated over, you know, 200 years ago and sown seeds into their clothing. And it's like, yes, it does mean that much. And they had just about nothing, you know, but they were smart enough to have their seeds. And that just, I love that type of preservation. And also the other part about seed saving is,
Hey, Spencer.
you know, heirloom seeds are typically 50 years or older. And so I've always heard, you know, the encouragement to save the seeds of what grows properly on your land, because it's accustomed to your soil and it should have a higher germination rate. So,
well, we just watched a special on the American chestnut, and how, because somebody, you know, the ancient people used the chestnut on almost everything they made food wise, and then
homes.
Yeah, and homes, and the wood was awesome, and it burnt great, and all this other. And then somebody decided up in the New York area to be cheap and brought in I think it was Japanese or Chinese chestnut. Chinese chestnut, because it was cheaper, which we've learned our lesson there. Apparently we haven't, but we should have. And it ended up overtaking the American chestnut. It brought in blight, and that came in and killed the American chestnut off. Now, I think we have a couple chestnut trees out in the back, small. We don't have the big ones like they used to get back in the day, but hopefully that makes a comeback. They're starting to seem to be making a comeback, because with the amount of things that you can do with the American chestnut, you know, food wise, is amazing, and building wise.
Oh, here's an awesome. Jean, when I did Airborne Express, I delivered to an old lady who had a beautiful Seven Sisters rose bush. I asked her about it, and she told me the story of how her great grandmother came here from Germany.
We just saw Appalachian Storytellers. That's the podcast is called, and he was talking about his grandmother's rose bush, or great grandmother's rose bush, that's come down through the family. Pretty interesting stuff.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
See, and carried a root in her underwear because the guards would not touch their underwear.
Let me go down to Spencer. Something cheap from China destroyed part of our culture. Go figure. Seems like a
Spencer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
Spencer.
enjoyed your show, Spencer.
Yep. Oh yeah, Kumbo is always a
heck yeah. Okay.
Get back on track here.
Oh, that's just about it. How am I doing on pictures? Okay. So it's also been nice to learn surprises I've found a few things that I did not know would carry over and are still growing. I have marjoram that has grown all winter long, which is awesome. But then my catnip just reappeared about a month ago. So I wanted to show y'all this neighborhood cat thoroughly enjoying my catnip.
All he does is come over to get high. He doesn't care about anything else except that catnip.
Which I am happy to serve. That is fine with me.
We call him Snoop Cat.
No, we don't.
Well, we should.
No, it just makes me happy that, we've tried to feed him because he'll come around and cry, and he really just wants the catnip. So I'm like, whatever. It's yours for the taking. Okay, let's see.
Greg, go ahead. Keep doing your garden stuff. I'm going to control this for a second.
I'm pretty much done for now. I just wanted to talk about getting started and getting comfortable getting started. And, I wasn't going to carry it any further other than getting them into the ground. I wasn't going to cover like harvesting or anything yet. We'll do that later on. But
just remember, folks, things aren't going to get cheaper for a while.
Yeah, it's so beneficial to me. It is absolutely so rewarding to grow your own vegetables. Again, I was not raised this way. And so to learn these things at any point in my life, I would have loved, or I love now. And I'm all about the trial and error that it takes. And I just want to see, more success every year and learn new things.
If you can grow with a whatever this cost, probably 99 cents, if that, 49 cents.
Well, that was more, but
I'm just saying seeds
Yes.
compared to going to the grocery store and buying a bunch of peas that are probably sprayed with stuff.
Right. And oh, you're welcome, Carmen. And to me, especially, I'm not going to be wasting my time on things I don't want to grow as much as I love the experiment part of it. You save so much money growing these things and knowing what you have put into it. There's no mystery, really. Whatever you've used to grow it has been your choice. It's not this might be blah blah blah. It's what you've put forth and your effort, and it's very rewarding.
I like that. I've spoken many times on my channel about the power of your brain on gardening, all the benefits of your parasympathetic nervous system, the connection, nutrition.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Shoni, you're welcome here anytime. We don't talk about growing things all the time, so we're not the greatest garden channel. Our channel, we have had so many different topics. It's kind of like what we want to talk about, but we're a homesteading, conspiracy, what's going on in the world type channel. Just basically an information channel where we can, inform people. We kind of want to get into the homesteading a little more just because she does such a fantastic job with these seeds and the knowledge of stuff. It's, I would be wasting that if we didn't share that with people. She can share it with me, but all I know are pew-pews and
I just want to encourage everybody, to do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
It's good in a positive way, what you enjoy. And that's what a lot of the topics that we cover are, to get your brain active.
Absolutely.
To get you thinking about whatever. We're not really critical of who comes on the show and says what. It's just more encouraging the conversation.
Good job, Shani. Definitely. Minnesota. I saw you guys were getting that hit hard. I think last night and today. I think another friend of ours is from Michigan in here, and she's getting slammed as well. So it's wild. We're supposed to be getting out of that weather, but it's another show.
Yeah.
It's a past show.
Spencer said it's really a love thing. You interact with nature, you learn from it, it grounds you, and you actually watch something grow and develop, and then you get to use it. I think the whole process is great.
Well said, Spencer.
Yes, very well
Holy
said.
cow.
Mm-hmm. We got Greg here. Hey, Greg.
Is that Spencer or Spencer's wife on there? I can't.
Stop.
Spencer, that's very philosophical. Very good, my man. I've gotten the same way. You know, again, I said that with all of these plants and everything, learning from what I've learned from her, but becoming one by, you know, I hate to say becoming one by eating them, but you know, what we take out of our yard and what we're eating and what she's growing, it is sort of a satisfactory feeling that you don't have to rely on grocery stores and stuff like that. I saw a meme not too long ago or something where somebody said, why would we have to kill animals when we can just go buy them at the store? And I thought to myself, that does seem to be a lot of the generational, you know, people don't know. If you grow up in the city and nobody ever teaches you, and all you do is go to a grocery store, and that's how you think, you know, beef shows up at the grocery store, that it just, you know, miraculously shows up there, then maybe you need to step outside the bubble. But being here and around this community, we live in Middle Tennessee. We live in a very small community, and having the local butcher shops and you know, these butcher shops, at least the one we deal with, they won't do the chemical meat, the meats, you know, the farmers that use they prefer for the grass-fed, you know, non-chemical, whatever, so that you're getting good beef. And we love that. I mean, you know, we're definitely all about that. We only preach that all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Squirrel.
Yeah, absolutely. Jean said, if you can't grow something because of lack of space, check your local farmers. I buy my garlic and corn from local farmers because I don't have room to grow them. You know, we have lived in apartments. We understand, you know, we've separately had, you know, different living situations. And through the years, we know what it's like to have to live with those different accommodations. You know, like not everybody can garden. And when we lived in our condo in Ohio, they would absolutely not allow us to have a garden. So, but I wanted to say also, you know, if you do try to grow whatever seed, whatever plant, and it's not working out, just know, you know, you can, if it didn't work out from seed for you, you can buy it at a local greenhouse. You know, at least you gave it a shot. And I've been there before, you know, and it didn't work out. And if you want to try again, try again. It's just to keep in mind to consider your window for growing, the time for germination, and the amount of time for the plant to reach its maturity date, and then your first frost of the year. So just keep in mind and do the math on those days.
Scared, I was just asking, I'm going to ask, would just cats be good eating?
Oh gosh.
No, I mean, asking for the neighbor, not me.
Stop.
Just curious.
Hey, Misty.
This is the time where we have guns. Yes. Oh my gosh.
What?
They're talking about Spencer.
Yep. Absolutely, Jean. Oh gosh.
This group. I love them. I love them.
Yeah, y'all are fun.
I've been reading a book on anti-gravity lately.
Oh yeah.
I can't put it down. Anyway.
Ugh. Hey, Misty.
So yeah, definitely think about if you don't have a garden, if you have any way to grow, even if you're in a condo, grow inside, do what you can. We need to be prepping for whatever situation happens, whether it's, a winter, a big winter like what you're having there. If you lose power for a long time, and you can't get out. I mean, there could be a lot of different things, and you just need to prepare. It doesn't mean you need to grow a garden because of it, but I highly suggest you grow a garden.
William, I saw your comment about garlic. I grew garlic 2 falls ago, and I didn't plant it last fall, but I know one of the tricks that says 40 days under 40 degrees, I think is one of the tricks about it. But anyhow, good luck with that. I just, garlic is so beneficial.
Oh, Squirrel, you didn't get the chat sidetracked. This is just how we roll.
This is our
This is
show.
our show. Bud said something, and somebody, I believe it was Gene, also said something, but buckets for
Yeah.
potatoes. I've been watching a lot of people growing potatoes in everything,
Mm-hmm.
which it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I put a questionnaire out, or asked a question on our YouTube page about if you could stock 3 items in a garden for SHTF, what 3 items, and potatoes, sweet potatoes, peas were one of them. And these are all crops that are fairly easy to grow, that you really don't have to worry about. Potatoes will come back. You can grow, potato in a potato on a potato.
Skid said stack milk crates for potatoes. That's another option. Yeah. I've also heard stacking tires.
Yeah, that was in the chat earlier. And William, we don't really care. You're just kind of rubbing it in. I get it, buddy. I know what you're doing.
No, I didn't know how much you would. I know you're in a warmer climate, but that was one of the tips that I had heard in my training on that. So,
step outside the box. I mean, just kind of do things out of the ordinary that you won't normally do. Thanks, Spencer. Just step out of the box. Know that you need to prep. Know that there has to be you can't just go through living life every single day and buying your food at a grocery store and expect to be healthy all the time. Okay. We know what they're doing to the food now. Check out our previous show on that. We know what chemicals they're putting on our food, what they're spraying in the air. Everything affects us. At least when you grow your own garden, it doesn't have those chemicals in it. Okay. Just like I mentioned at the beginning of the show when we talked about how I was raised to have a picture perfect yard, manicured, no weeds. And now I asked my neighbor, I was like, you mind if I have dandelions? And we live in the country. They don't care. He's like, no, man. I said, because we eat our dandelions. There's other things in the yard that we keep. It's helpful stuff. Dandelions are super healthy. Flowers, some of the flowers that you can eat are super healthy for you to make teas out of. This is all stuff I never thought I would be doing, but I love it. I love the satisfaction of her coming out, from coming in from outdoors with a little container of dandelions. The next thing you know, she's got me a cup of dandelion tea. And I think today was dandelion with some lemon and honey in it. So, honey is a natural sweetener. So it's neat to be a part of all of this and to learn this stuff, and just to step away from where I used to have my everyday life was fast food and boxes of Fruit Loops. And when I was single, it was like, hey, I can buy a box of cereal and that's 3 days worth of meals, eggs and boxes of cereal. But now she feeds me and real food, and it's really nice. And we do. Shawnee's got.
Skid said too much vitamin A from dandelions can be toxic.
Right.
And that is the thing for anything that you grow or ingest. Who's around it? Who's going to be consuming it? How often should you? Those are things that you need to know so that you can prevent accidents.
Well, it's just like beets. Beets are great for your circulation and your heart. But too many beets, too much beet juice is actually bad for you. And it's just, that's everything you eat. If you eat, I know they talk about carnivore diets, and if you eat meat all the time, those people still have issues. If you're not eating other vitamins to put in your body, you still have issues. So I'm using dandelion seeds to grow microgreens this year.
That's awesome.
And she grows microgreens as
Mhm.
well. And they don't last long because she'll bring me a little handful in and I just eat them like popcorn.
That's awesome, Shawnee.
We are eating so much better since
Yep.
Brian's heart attack. Awesome. Awesome.
Very good.
And I'd like to say something. I have a friend in the hospital right now that's having heart issues, well, blood pressure issues, and they're thinking it's his heart. So I know he's not listening, but brother, I'm with you. I'm there for you. There's a crap ton of stuff right now out to use. Purple
Mhm.
dead nettle, chickweed, wild onions,
Yep. We have purple dead nettle.
oxalates right now. Know your body. See, we're learning.
And
Thank you, everybody. That's information.
Thank you. You know, we're all about that. Just sharing the information
We are just like
and
everybody
encouraging
else.
the conversation.
We don't know everything, and that's when we do a show. You know, we've always said that we want to learn from you just as much as we want to provide you with information. We're not going to be able to provide you with every bit of information, but if we give you a topic that interests you and you get into it, you can research it for yourself and find out what part of that you want to learn. You know,
Mhm.
if we do a show on whatever, we've done shows, weather, you know me, I'm a big weather manipulator guy. I know they do it. It's out there. It's scientifically proven. But if you want to know certain aspects of it, you can research that for yourself. So we give you the topic.
Yeah.
We talk about it a little bit. And hopefully, if you're interested, that you do your own research, because that's the only way anybody learns is to do your
Mhm.
research.
Yep.
So we love you guys giving us info back. And Shawnee, thank you very much for
Yes.
being here and sharing. Always Gene. I love having you guys in here. Squirrel, as always.
Oh yeah.
You share great information with us, and we love it, especially in the growing. I know Erica loves that. So
There's Bud. Hadn't seen him in a while, but we got Phyllis here too. Hey Phyllis.
yes, exactly. Oh yes, get her. Yep.
That's wild.
There's patents, so many patents for that kind of stuff
That's
that,
so wild.
you know, when you do the research, the government says, well, we don't use that. I'm like, well, why is there a patent? Somebody tried using it. How do we know? Love you guys. You were late getting here tonight. Oh. So anyway, do I have any other jokes I want to tell? Because I know you guys.
Oh, I bet you do.
Maybe I don't. I might not. Some of them aren't worthy of my joke telling. You got my doctor's. You got my beat drops. Okay.
And I'll say a special need some good vibes. My dad's in the hospital. And my granny is struggling a little bit.
Her
She's
101-year-old.
101 years old. She's not really had it that easy since she got back home from the nursing home. So any good vibes would be appreciated.
I've also got a few prepper security gardening facts. Prepper is for preppers. Potatoes produce more calories per square foot than most crops. Potatoes, have Irish background. Obviously, that was the thing, the Irish potato famine. Irish potatoes are a great thing to have in the ground. They'll feed you. You can do them so many different ways. Highly suggested. Beans add nitrogen back into the soil, improving fertility. So,
you said beans?
Beans.
It's funny because Shawnee put earlier beans for drying, winter squash, potatoes if I had to pick 3.
That's perfect. That's actually the beans, the potatoes, and even the squash were also mentioned by other people. So that's nice that everybody's on the same wavelength with those. What else we got here? I got sweet potatoes store 6 to 10 months without refrigeration if cured properly.
If I had to pick, it would be sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I love sweet potatoes too, and they're healthier. So, and heirloom seeds can be saved and replanted, unlike many hybrid varieties, which is something you said earlier. I believe you said that. So anyway, how much time we got in here? We're at hour 20. Listening person.
Thank you, Carmen. I hope you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Hope you're healing.
Let's put this cat back up on the stage.
That cat. Yeah, he's feeling no pain.
Yeah, he's He is super high right there.
He just kept rolling in it. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Spencer. We're all about it.
I've got an idea for a show next week that I got to think if I really want to do it, but it's something that's been going around a lot in the past X amount of years, but lately it's been really bad, and that's propaganda. So we'll see. It might change between now and then, but propaganda is getting out of control with AI and everything else. So I kind of want to, how I feel about AI, and so might be discussing some propaganda next Sunday. I just when I'm watching videos of things going on overseas, and then you find out that it's a video game that they're posting as real footage, kind of gets you on the propaganda thing. So propaganda has been going on with every world conflict, every world disaster, everything. So we might be talking on that next week. Again, if you guys want to know about something, or maybe something tickles your fancy that you'd like to hear us talk about, Cats on Acid. That sounds interesting.
Stop. Skid said turmeric kills pain. I believe it's turmeric that is best with black pepper. Is that right?
Propaganda is a big issue,
That's right, bud.
They don't show us half of what's really happening. Yeah, bud, I think it's more than half. I think that we are in such an age right now that it was, and during Vietnam and World War II and all the conflicts overseas, we had to rely on the news for the truth. And we're to a point where nobody trusts the news. So it's really hard to know what's going on for real. Mm-hmm. And half of what's going on, I don't believe that it's really happening. I believe it's just ways to control other things.
I just want to say real quick on that topic of AI. Chad had pointed out to me the other day, there was a video, like the soldier returning home and the animal delightfully greeting. It was AI, but Chad pointed out to me in the subtle ways that he saw it was AI. So it's sad because you see people who just wouldn't even question it. There's no way that's real. I mean, that is real. I wouldn't hear anything else about it. It is so deceiving, and it's scary.
Well, it's even to the point where, like, you see a video of a rescue guy saving a deer out of an icy lake. And if you watch it, somebody created that video just for their channel to get lots of hits. Okay. You watch closely and you can see where the discrepancies are in the video that make it AI. And maybe I watch too many videos, but I want to know what our future holds and how we're going to be able to tell what's reality and what's not reality. And it's to the point where what I say, or what I said on our AI show, is what we see on Facebook or X or any other social media account, and we go, oh, look, they've got 6 fingers. The government has 10 times better than that. So their AI isn't sloppy. Their AI is on point. Okay. And I see Shawnee actually said something.
Thank you, Spencer. Have a good night.
See you, Spence. Thanks for being here, buddy. A lot of AI slop in the learning content world. Yes. See, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. And we're never going to know what's real. And of course, Chad again, that's what they want. They want us to question they want us to believe everything that's put out there is real. And yes, clickbait is, when we do our show titles, it's hard because I don't want to be a clickbaity channel. I don't want people to click on here and then we say one thing about what we had on the channel, So we want to give you reality, and yeah, we'll give you kind of a fancy term, but we talk about what we, our topic was. And that's how we want our channel to be. We don't want to be one of those channels that's, you can see them on X all the time, and They talk about something really big happened in this administration or in Iran or whatever, and then you click on it and it's nothing. You know, it's so stupid. It's not even a thing, but they got you to click on it, which shows that you clicked on it, and they get, you know, more views, and then they get paid. And we don't want to be that way. We want to be a thorough, a good channel.
But yes, we are. We are looking forward to that.
Oh, absolutely. She's been talking about getting the camping stuff ready. We got to see what weather we're going to have first. I know we spent our last trip to Alabama, we slept in our vehicle, and it wasn't bad, but I think we're going to throw the tent up this time, and we have a brand new tent we bought. It's a little bit different. So we're pretty excited about that. And we're definitely excited about seeing all you guys again, being able to chat. And I know Spencer's gone, but I got some questions for Spencer.
Yeah.
I'll text him with. Other than that, people, thank you for being here. It's always fun doing these shows. It's fun getting the input from you guys.
Yep.
Hope you learned something. You might have already known all of this stuff, but think about growing a garden if you don't have one, or just grow some tomatoes.
Yeah. See how it goes.
I mean, you know, we haven't gotten into the chickens and stuff yet, because I know she would name them and then we'd have to kill them. And
yeah.
Or if we get egg laying chickens, we've talked about doing that as well. But we're not ready for that yet. We'll get there. But anyway, everybody be safe tonight. I know there's storms rolling through Alabama and Mississippi, and I think Arkansas, and we're supposed to get them after midnight tonight. They've moved us from a level 2 to a level 3 for tornadoes. So we'll see grow jalapenos.
Skid.
Absolutely. I love jalapenos.
Yeah, jalapenos, they're good, but the plants are just so beautiful. I grew peppers last year, and I just thought the plants were so beautiful, and obviously healthy for you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Beth has heard so many stories about, scary things about that, but there are going to be so many people there. I don't know what would put her mind at ease, but we're looking forward to it. We'd love to see her there if she can make it, but
absolutely,
we want everybody to be comfortable. So,
okay. So was there anything else? I don't think so. So next week, same bat time, same bat channel. We will have our bidets fired up.
Whoa.
Wait, not bidets. That's my bad. That way we can water from the bottom.
Oh, gosh.
Have you guys started fermenting peppers? No. Do you grow peppers?
I will be.
Okay.
We have not. I would like to make my own like kimchi, but I don't know how peppers would go for me because I don't like a lot of spice. I'll
explain in a second, William.
I have done like quick pickling cucumbers and stuff like that, but really no fermenting.
We're still new into, not we're. She's still she learned how to can, so we can stuff. We're still in the basics of everything, except her gardening is getting, she's getting ready to be going through education to be a master gardener.
Yes.
I myself have been working on getting my fishing license so that I can become a master fisher person.
Stop it.
Just throw a little joke in there. Anyway, the bidet comment was because she said we should water plants from the bottom. So I thought a bidet would work really well from that. She's taking the controls from me.
Oh my gosh, this dude right here.
Anyway, that's part of it cracks me up. People say I do sugar rush peach, red Caribbean. Oh, that sounds
they sound good though.
Red Caribbean. Now I've had habaneros, but I don't know what kind of habaneros they are.
Oh my gosh.
Into hot sauce. Oh. Do you sell your hot sauce?
No, that sounds
just
good.
Curious. That's it, Jeff. I just didn't want to say it on the show. Gosh, and Jeff goes and says it.
I bet that probably is good, Shawnee.
Oh, hey, William, I might have to take you up. I'm not a big fish. I've deep sea fished before, and of course, I've fished in rivers and ponds and lakes. But it's been probably 40 years since I've been fishing. To try that, honey. I don't sell things I make from the. Okay, that's good. That's great. Yeah, that's what's nice about the community we live in is if you want something more times out of you can go somewhere and pick some up. If you have a neighbor that's growing it.
40 years. About like that. Probably about 30.
I'd say the last
30, 35.
Last time I fished was probably a friend's pond, and that would have been back when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
I wanted to fall asleep. It was so soothing.
I fished about 5,625 years ago. That's how I looked at life back then. I'll bring one of the super soaker water guns.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I love it.
Oh.
Conversation went.
Oh
boy.
If you wouldn't have mentioned bidet again.
It's maple syrup season here, and talked to my niece, and she said my brother was born in syrup. I'm so excited. He gives a ton of maple syrup. Oh, nice.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Super Troopers, but there's a scene.
I think I might make pancakes for dinner.
where they're power drinking syrup, and I can do that so bad. I love syrup.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maple syrup is gold. That's awesome. Yeah, I like maple syrup pretty good.
Anyway.
It's amazing our evolution on food and choices.
Oh, yeah. I used to, for me, it was sugar. Everything I could eat was sugar, and usually piled more sugar. I used to get my dad was always a big Rice Krispies guy. So he would have Rice Krispies, and I would probably have it with oh my God, half a container of sugar in it just to give it flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But now I try not to eat hardly any sugar. I mean, everything has sugar in it unless you're really.
It's amazing how reading the nutrition label changes your outlook.
And Jean, you, me both. Breakfast for dinner is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially when it's something different. Like we do eggs and bacon and sausage. And used to be her homemade sourdough bread. Now we use a jalapeno cheddar sourdough bread, but we used to do that, or we do that for dinner sometimes now. But yeah, if you could get pancakes in there every once in a while for dinner, then
I might do that.
Ooh, thank you, Jane.
That's not normal for me, but I'm okay with it right now.
Yeah. So egg, sausage, tacos. She made. Are you ready? Eggs, sausage, cheese, egg rolls.
Oh yeah.
That was our breakfast the other day. And
so good.
Yeah. Put them up in the air fryer.
That's so good. I'll definitely do that again.
Yeah. She also makes a egg roll that's, what is that? Beef? No, what is your egg rolls you usually used to make for me?
Cheese and beans, and does it have ground turkey?
I don't think we do that anymore.
Oh, that's been so
anyway,
long ago.
Man, it's like the next day you just pop them in like breakfast or like a snack. You're just like,
yeah, I forget. I'll have to look up my stuff again. But they are addictive.
They are very addictive. I watched a lady the other day on YouTube that made her own egg roll wrappers, and it didn't look.
That's pretty cool.
See you, William.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah. See ya.
Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you at LBL.
I know.
All you guys that are coming, definitely. What was the one thing I wanted to say?
You were talking food. I don't know.
Yeah, well, when you get old, your mind goes. Of course, yeah, whatever. What's that? Shawnee says fermented grated carrots with ginger, cabbage, slaw. Now,
oh, that sounds good.
Oh, that does. One of my all-time favorite foods is sauerkraut. I've learned that you can't eat sauerkraut every day because the fermentation of the sauerkraut becomes, hey, what did you do to our lighting system? Anyway, it's like the ultimate, what do you call that?
Laxative.
Laxative. Yes. I made the mistake of eating sauerkraut for every meal one day for a week. And I learned that your body says, nope, not here. But it's one of my favorites. Carmen wants pancakes now. Yes.
I know, it's a thing now.
We were sharing. Sharon's on the comedy
gosh,
too. Atta
that's
girl, Sharon.
awesome.
I ate too much Rice Krispies as a girl. That's why my body snaps, crackles, and pops. Pulled pork egg rolls. Oh, come on, Sean.
Now that sounds so good.
What are the egg rolls we get at Dublin Crossing? Sauerkraut. Oh, they're just basically Reuben egg rolls is what they
that's
are.
right.
So beef or whatever that
Thousand Island.
in Thousand Island Drive. Oh my God, they're absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, kids. Well, I could stay here and talk all night as long as you guys did, but Erica needs to make dinner because I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not that guy. Seen a video on a Big Mac egg rolls that looked good. If I made the Big Mac egg rolls, I don't want to use a Big Mac. Anyway, poured the juice from a jar.
What?
Drank it last night.
Well, how did that turn out, Verby?
I am interested in this, Verby. Why exactly did you do that? Did you need the bidet afterwards?
Oh gosh.
Yes. What are Rachel's?
Yeah, what are Rachel's?
Come on, Jeff, help me out. Here.
Y'all are torturing. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Brian.
What can you eat that doesn't have sugar in it?
I would drink pickle juice. Absolutely no dare needed. Let's just drink pickle juice.
Well, pickle juice is great for if you have cramps. I as an athlete, as a former athlete, I tore a hamstring back in the 90s, I think, or maybe early 2000s. And I never had it put back into place because I could still play. I could still run. And it tore from down on my ankle, unsnapped up into my buttocks. Anyway, it cramps up all the time now. And I can just grab the dill pickle juice, drink it, and I'm fine. It goes away. Now, I don't know if it's because my body is shocked to the system of the pickle juice or if it's actually doing something. I don't know.
Just that it's a Reuben with slaw instead of a sauerkraut.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not a slaw person. Not a slaw person. Don't ask me why, but she gets all my coleslaw. Pickle juice is a heartburn cure. Heartburn. Why? Wow. I need to find someone with a long time sauerkraut recipe. Really make it. Now, I used to have a guy I lived with
That's right, Jeff.
a long time ago. And he had a big garden we rented a house together, and he had a big garden, and he grew cabbage, and he made his own sauerkraut, and he put it in the bag, in the canvas bag or whatever type of bag it is, and shove it down inside this big container and put the lid on it, and then let it sit for so long. And he did all kinds of stuff, and that was the sauerkraut I ate. It was so good. So one thing I would like to ask of you guys, if you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up button. We would greatly appreciate it. I like to look down and see them thumbs up. Look how crooked my thumb is. Anyway, do
you love it, Jeff?
Do you roll around in it, Jeff? Anyway, I have a recipe for sauerkraut, Jane. There we go. See, I like this too. Everybody's sharing stuff. Crock just to make sauerkraut. Right. Nice. Jeff says, man, I love coleslaw.
Oh. Coleslaw can be so different.
Well, so can sauerkraut too, I think. But coleslaw, I just can't get into it. There's something about the flavor. And somebody made me, I went to a restaurant one time that was known for their pulled pork sandwiches. And I got this big pulled pork sandwich and took a bite, and it had sauerkraut or coleslaw on it. I was like, oh, who does that? Apparently that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So thanks, Phyllis. Have a great night. Be safe. Hopefully you guys are weather safe tonight.
Love you, Phyllis.
Juice in the garden is amazing too. Cucumber, celery, parsley, apples, and lemons.
Oh, gosh.
We're going to have
Shawnee works some magic, let me tell you.
Yeah, she's got me eating celery seeds now. Is that what I'm eating?
Mm-hmm. It's for toxins.
I don't like celery, but
I don't either, but I heard it's good at removing toxins. So
cabbage, hot peppers, and bell peppers, bury it. Shawnee, you don't understand. We really appreciate you being here and sharing that info. I love it.
Absolutely. Do you have a channel? Did you say that you have your own podcast?
Pumpkin seeds. Yep. Dry out your pumpkin seeds, gnaw on them for a while.
Okay. I'm just going to say it. She's put something about mayo dressing. I don't really notice a huge difference between mayonnaise and whatever the other one is.
Miracle Whip.
How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all notice a difference?
I put whatever, I won't say whatever white stuff's in the refrigerator because, I've accidentally done ranch dressing when I was younger thinking it was something. Celery and peanut butter.
We don't like celery.
That's the only way I'll eat celery.
Yeah.
But the object of eating celery is for healthy and, throwing peanut butter on it isn't really, keeping the celery.
Shawnee, type in the name of your channel, if you will, if you want to promote it, because we'd love to. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Thank you, Gary.
Nice.
The greatest moderator in the world, Gary Pops Spikes. Thanks, Gary. Here, I'll put that up on the screen.
Very nice.
It's the ingredients for me. Mayo has better ingredients. Okay, see, I don't know.
Has anybody here ever made their own mayonnaise? And I have. It was like a magic trick. It was so cool.
And yes, Gary is the man.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Gary. We're glad you're here. We thought that
How was
you
your
would still
camping
be
trip?
camping, but
Your trip camp. I thought it was a camping trip you said you were going to be on. Hopefully it went well.
it is. It is. It's so funny. It's like a transformation. I'm a big kid, I guess. It's just the way I am.
It's really neat because when we met each other, I'm from Dayton, Ohio. I lived in those suburbs, but I have done more country-wise than her, who is from Tennessee in what was a small community. Now it's a bigger community, but there was time she had never ridden on a four-wheeler. She'd never been in a lifted truck. She'd never done all these things. And I'm like, never gardened. Yeah, me being from the north, I was like, how in the world have you not done these things? I thought every country kid did this. And then she reminded me that not everybody in Tennessee is a country kid. So
yeah, and I'm not a country music.
Yeah, because I was like that with her. I was like, please tell me you're not a country music fan. She's like, oh no, I'm a rock and roll person. I was like, awesome. No offense to country music.
It's just not
everybody's style is
okay. Sharon put, my husband didn't know the difference between my face cream and the toothpaste. I had to share that.
Well, I will. As men, we don't really read as far as my story is, and a few other people have probably heard this before, is that as you can see, I have a shaved head. Every time I shave my head, I lotion it with lotion so that the scalp doesn't get dry, because we still get a dry scalp. Anywho, so one night on a previous time in my life, I shaved my head and lotioned it up and walked out to go somewhere with my ex-wife and my kids. And when I sat down, everybody started laughing. It was a bright, sunny day. Apparently, when I looked in the mirror too, I looked like a huge disco ball. I'd used a a lotion that contained, which I didn't know they had it, contained glitter. And so my whole head, face, and everything was glittered up. So then they tried to leave so that I couldn't go wipe it off, but I jumped out anyway. So, yeah. So, and I did that to her. So one of the tricks I did to her one night is I replaced the toothpaste.
Glitter.
I replaced the toothpaste with tomato paste.
I have a tube of tomato
There's a
paste.
tube of tomato paste. So I took the toothpaste out of the bathroom and put the tomato paste in. But she's smarter than the average bear. So when she took the lid off and she saw that it was red on the inside, she was like, yeah.
I just would have to hold the tube and know that it's different.
Yeah, it was interesting. Dude.
Oh,
Literally, like I looked like
I'm sure he would do that for the right price, Gene.
I looked like something off of a David Bowie album cover. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. It was literally everywhere, just glitter, glitter, glitter. So it took me about 20 minutes to wipe all the glitter off my face, and it still didn't, get it all, but it was enough to where I didn't. And I really don't worry about what other people think about me. But at that point, I was like, I can't do the glitter thing. That's just too much. But anyway, okay. I think I've seen anything else. My husband asked me for moisturizer for his hands once. I forgot.
Oh no. Because that doesn't dry well if you've got dry skin or anything.
Well, I can remember when that lotion that you could put on, it might be that you could put on your skin to kind of give you that fake tan. I can remember right out of high school, I found this cream and I'm like, oh, and I rubbed it in, and when it all dried, I missed everywhere around my eyes, around my face, parts of my face. I looked like I had some sort of skin disease. I'd do it for the right price. Jeff, I've come to the conclusion that you would do anything for the right price.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
totally agreed, Gene. It is just a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, it follows you everywhere.
His hands were orange. I bet they were.
His hands were, yeah.
And his knuckles were probably a different shade of orange. It's a mess.
He was the greatest orange I've ever been.
Okay.
I can do that.
That's awesome.
It's the best I can do. So anyway, okay.
Yeah.
We should probably get going because we do need to eat. She needs to start making pancakes for me.
Wow. She
needs to please start making pancakes for me.
I actually said earlier that sounds good.
Jeff going to go naked ziplining again. LOL. See, we're going to miss it. He's not going to be at the meet and greet, so we're not going to get to see him zip line naked.
Yeah.
Not that I really want to. I don't know if I have enough time to recover from that in life.
Stop.
Sorry, Jeff. But anyway, thank you for being here, everybody.
Yeah,
we greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you learned a little something. I'm not going to make this a Southern goodbye, so hopefully you learned a little something.
We're already there.
We'll see you next. Yeah, another one. I don't want to make this a Woodwalkers.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And Shawnee, it was great having you.
Yeah, thank you very much for being here. We try to keep the first half of the show educational and
intentionally
serious, but then you throw me into the mix and I kind of take it off the rails a little bit. But
thank you to our moderators.
Yep, thank you very much. And I don't think we've ever had to worry about anybody being in here. Thanks, guys.
Well, good luck to everybody with all the storms.
Pay attention. Be weather aware tonight. Listen to, if you've got a weather radio, have it on.
Thanks, Furby.
Or turn the volume up on your phone so you can hear the alerts if you need to.
Yeah. Be careful. And we will see you next Sunday.
Big love, y'all.
Big love.
Appreciate you being here. Wait, there we go.